Did you make the coffee yet?
What's going on? We need to be saying we are in this together. We might not always agree, but by and large, we are in this together to champion conservative values.
It's funny, Suzanne. This kind of reminds me of a bit of my military background. So, I worked in like a small team kind of setting, right? And we would have times where we've got to go and brief like the general and or somebody of that capacity so that we get okayed for the mission. And we would come together and we would just give this awesome like report, like this is what we're going to be doing, this is how we're going to do it, this is who's going to be doing what. And that general would be like, oh heck yeah, you guys go forth and conquer. And then of course when we get behind the doors, behind the scenes, that's when we get into a little bit of the controversy, a little bit into like the, okay, guys, I know we said we're going to do it like this, but like, how are we actually going to do it like this? And then you start arguing, right? But you're doing that behind the scenes.
Right.
You're conveying to the general public, the general, if you will, you're conveying to the community, you're conveying to them, we are together, we are about this, we are on the ball. And then behind the doors, you're talking about your little differences. You're talking about, the issues that you have. Let's see if we can resolve them. Would you agree that that may be a way to go about things?
I think that would be a very important step in the right direction and a very important way to go about things because we really do need to, on the grassroots level and on these levels where people are really working hard to make a difference and people are looking to them to do that because they have the time and they have the organization. I think we all need to come together behind the scenes, work things out, agree to disagree where we can, and then go take a united front. I think I shared with you, Will, that I get a lot of different emails, and
Mm.
I also get some emails from the liberal agenda, from the Democrats, because of some of the work that I do with animals. I get some of these Democrat
Yeah.
emails,
Yeah.
and I something that I really believe that we can learn from them is um, they do not attack each other within the camp. And if they do, they're doing just what you said. They're doing
Behind
it
closed
behind
doors.
closed doors,
Yeah.
get it worked out, and then come together and fight the good fight. And that's what I feel like we are lacking in such a big way. I love that conservatives are individuals and go-getters. And like you said, entrepreneurs. These are people, not being bound by, I'm just going to follow somebody. They're individuals. But by the same token, sometimes we work against the very things we are trying to accomplish by the internal dissension, and we need to do what you are doing in your military setting where you go behind closed doors, you work things out, this is where we disagree, and then come together with a united front to fight the good fight for conservative values.
Yeah, Suzanne, you bring up such a great topic as you normally do. Uh,
Thank you.
yeah, of course. Credit where credit's due. Like a great example of this, something childish even is like, you go up to a friend of yours and let's say it's you're like, oh yeah, let's talk on unity, let's be unified, and you're like, you know what, I 100% agree with you, we should totally be unified. And then like, okay, on the count of three, let's both say the same thing, like at the same time, what we should be unified about. We're thinking like we're going to say the same thing, but like, let's say something controversial, like, okay, on the count of three, one, two, three, one person says Georgia voting integrity, and then the other